we doing all this business stuff and whatnot, and doing all this community work. We're not doing family work. We gotta really get in tune with really getting back to the family. Like, sit down with your family. You need the space, you need the time, and you need some food.
It ain't that hard to get family together.
Yeah, I'm just trying to run a checkup like a doctor. All of them are acting, needing Oscar. I just want a couple grand and make the family proud. I'm sick of penny pinching like a.
Welcome to another edition of the
Yo.
Our the #1 podcast for families.
You know it.
Seeking to end generational dysfunction.
You know it. Nothing much, cuz. Nothing much, man. We about to lock in. I need y'all to lock in. Lineage leaders, I need y'all to lock in, man. Make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all share this, man, because we about to have another one, man. We got another phenomenal guest right here to my right. You know, I met this brother at a shout out to Rome. He actually was on here, and I can actually remember his episode because he was episode 100. So after you get done watching this, make sure you watch that one. But I bumped into this brother at a Rome event at Bless the Block, I believe, man. That wasn't that long ago to be 100. About like a month?
Yeah, about a month ago.
About a month ago or whatnot, man. So anyway, I bump into him, man. So we chilling, and he grabs the mic. As soon as he starts, it's certain words I hear people use that I know that they know stuff. That I know that they know certain knowledge that I study myself. You know what I mean? That certain people call it's many bases and many categories of knowledge. But when people start using terms, you know, that I'm familiar with, I start understanding like where they coming from. And he started just using terms. He was just, and I'm like, man, who is this brother? He got to talk in my language. He got to look in my language. And I was like, all right. So when he got done, I had to pull him over, man, come to figure out. He do one of my favorite things. He got a garden. Gardens. Hey, he had to correct me on it earlier. Gardens. Yeah. Gardens. He is a minister. He does so much for himself, for the community, man. He got a great story about him, how he came up, him and his son. Man, he a phenomenal dude, man. Everything. I met him so far, man. Got his number. He pulled up. He pulled up to us. He pulled up on us, cuz.
At the Friends and
Family Reunion, man. I ain't gonna forget that, man. We appreciate y'all for coming out. Brought him and his family, you know what I mean? So we appreciate you for that. And man, brother Minster Stebo, my yacht, man. And yeah, man. Hey, and if I miss anything, let them know, man. Let them know.
No, respect, peace and bless, brethren. I'm just happy y'all invited me here and get this opportunity to actually speak and, you know, come with a message and tell people about what's going on, not only about myself, but why we do what we do, you know.
Yeah. And before we get down, what is your message? What message is your everyday that you live by, that what you want to achieve before you leave out of here? What is the message you want to make sure you stress you got past?
We have to restore the family. You know, the dysfunction in our society comes from the disconnect of our natural order. You know, we fail in maintaining natural order. We prioritize everything outside of the natural order to sustain an unnatural way of life. You know what I mean? So our standard of living overrides our quality of life.
That's what we say.
So the disconnect comes in, you know, us having to serve, go to a job, be away from our home, and the disconnect is right there in the home because you're away from them 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day. So, you know, what we aim to do, and my aim to do, is alert people, bring awareness that that's the issue. You know, now we know what the issue is, what can we do about it? And we got to develop a culture around, you know, what embraces and promotes life. And that's coming back to the family, back to their natural order. And that's how we restore the balance of life.
Agreed. And
absolutely.
Let me hit this on this because he only met us a month ago, so he really didn't even know this, man. That's our main focus, brother.
Yep.
Our main focus is to get families back together. We're the only people doing family reunions. And the one you came to, we're the only ones who doing it on both sides of our families, even the ones we're not even related to. You know what I mean? because I'm on his mom's side and he's on mine. And both of our dad's sides even don't have family reunions. So, however, we represent families, period, and we represent getting the family homes together because that's when we was power. Because
Indeed.
See, they don't know, but I'm gonna drop some little knowledge on him. He studies. He knows my yacht. He knows the metanetter. He know the knowledge of these things. You can see that it was families that was running Memphis, the real Memphis, not what we know about Memphis today. That was running Thebians, that was running all these cities that people talk about, So yeah, man, I'm glad to have you on here, and I'm glad you dropped. That was your message.
I just wanted.
That was just dope.
I really want to add on what you're talking about the family union. What's significant about that is that when we first started this mission, it was about reuniting the family. In our community, and to my own experience, and many of us, we have the prison industrial complex. That's responsible for a lot of the disconnect, division in our homes. And a lot of what happens in this society, even with fatherhood, the father is kind of discounted. Even in you look at TV shows, the father's kind of like the bumbling idiot, they laugh and joke, and they're all TV shows. You know what I mean? So this is kind of like the running joke.
Family Guy.
So in this culture, we see that there's really a lack of appreciation or a kind of a disdain for the father. And if we understand the Willie Lynch ideology, you know what I mean, we can say it was not a real letter in that, but there's an ideology, there's a construct here that is consistent. You know what I'm saying? We see it, and by breaking the man, you destroy the family, you destroy that nation, and that's what they did on the plantation. So. Us and when I started this was the purpose was restoring family, and one of our initiatives was to start something called Straight Family Pride. Because we see a lot of pride and everything going on, right?
Name your organization real quick so they can know too. Name your organization too.
So my organization, chiefly, I'm founding elder and chief minister of Ma'at 9 Incorporated. We identify as Kemetic Rastafari Temple. And as I say, when you say religion, people are really kind of stigmatized and stuck and spooked about religion. But religion, for us, we made our religion revolution, and our faith is in family. So in doing that, Dr. John Henry Clark said, anything that touches your life should be an instrument of your liberation. If not, to throw it in the waste can of history. So what we've done is we're taking revolution, making it our religion. Everything that we should do should be about us getting right and moving forward as a people and what it takes to do that. So why can't we do that religiously? Why can't we be about that on one accord, Take all the spookism aside. We're not worried about a guy in the sky or no fire down below. We're dealing with the real, tangible circumstances that we deal with in our real life right here. We're not waiting for the hereafter. We want to create what we need here and now. We're not going to let somebody rob us here and tell us you got to wait. It's just the way it's supposed to be for now. No, we're going to work on real tangible solutions for us here in and now. So under that, in that understanding, we come together as Ma'at 9 Incorporated. And the significance of it, like I said, everything is layered when we talk. So we'll be here for hours talking about the layers.
You good.
Ma'at 9, why we say Kemetic Rastafari. The Kemetic sciences existed in the Nile Valley of Africa, right? This is where civilization started, because civilization started around the water. And
Agreed.
In reverse of what we know, we think that Egypt was like the oldest nation, but really to the south, what we orientate as the south started to the south of Egypt, which is really to Egypt's north, if you understand that Nile Valley runs from south to north.
Yeah.
The only two rivers in the world run that way. That's the Nile and the Amazon, and they're both over 4,000 miles long. That they run from south to north. So civilization flowed from south to north. So it started in the south in the Sudan. All right. So the concept of Ma'at existed, which meant reciprocity, truth, justice, honor, harmony, and balance. That's what ma'at means. Those terms. When you say ma'at, it's understood to mean that all in one. This was recognized by looking at life, looking at everything and the connection between relationships of everything and the natural order and the balance that created and sustained life. So everything in existence was to honor that, because realizing that God or the creator was in life. So we had to do everything that we could to make sure that we honored that we represented that, and we maintained that balance.
Yep.
There was no separation between science, between everything else in life, and spirituality. It was all one. It was seen as one. So ma'at, in that form, we recognize as being, that balance that creates and keeps life going. With the Rastafari application, Rastafari have a concept called liberty. And liberty means the all in all, life and everything, the same thing. So life is in you, life is in the tree, so I have to treat that tree with the same respect as I treat God with it. I have to treat this water with the same respect I would treat God. I got to treat you, because God is in you as it's in me, like the same, you feel me? So that with that respect, that's what it means. I got to see, inspect, you know what I'm saying? I got to see again. I see God, I see it in you, I see it in me. So that's what respect is. So when I say respect, I'll say respect, because I'm seeing it from a higher dimension.
That's what you mean too.
Seeing it from the highest dimension, maintaining that balance, that order, and what it takes to maintain life is what we should all be doing. Protecting life, promote life. If we're doing anything that disturbs or that would negate that balance in any way, then that was seen as sin. The original term or the word for sin was imbalance. That's what sin means. It means imbalance. So when we do something, when we sin, in essence, when we sin against God or we sin against life, we create an imbalance. So our application of the Kemetic Rastafari has taken those concepts to put it together to incorporate them. Kemetic Rastafari, Ma'at 9 incorporated, and with 9 being representative of the all. 9 represents, it's like nothing else. It's everything and nothing at the same time. It's superposition, and when we understand the source and where everything comes from, that seat of creation, that's where God exists. So we call that 9. That God is represented by 9. So that's the significance of Ma'at 9 incorporated, M9I. Also, 9 is a 9th letter of the alphabet. So the significance is very layered, but us and what we do is we promote life, protecting life, and moving in order to maintain that order. I created an entity called Ma'at Urban Agriculture and Industries, Moi and I. I would like to have my love if she could come over here and actually model for us if she could.
Yeah.
Because I really want to, we're going to really talk about my divine reflection, because she's so significant in this. This is my love, Chris, Counselor Chris Duckett.
How you doing?
Hit camera.
Oh, get up.
No, you good.
Oh no, go back to camera
Go
3.
ahead.
Angle 3. Yep.
Stand back up.
Back up.
Yep. Make sure you can see yourself in the camera. Yes, and do your thing.
Go ahead, go back
Make
up.
sure you can get,
All right. Which one?
Camera 3. Yep. Right here, straight ahead. Yep.
Yep. All right. So this is my love. It's my divine reflection. I'll tell you about the beginning of the story, how this all goes, and where she came along. And nothing we're doing right now would be possible if I didn't have her. That is the dynamic. That's the principle of Ma'at, the divine male and female, the copulation to create life. Those two, and that's in everywhere in the universe. And that's what in a relationship, that's the dynamic you represent, the male and feminine, the male and female. You have in a battery, all the power comes in through the female end, feminine end, right? But it's directed and guided through the male, the positive end, right? The same aspect is created in nature and in our relationship. You have something and you bring it to that woman, and you put that seed in her, and she produces. You feel me? And that's what it's been with this Ma'at. The significance I want y'all to see in this symbology on this shirt, you can see. Probably can't see it well. I'll give you some graphics so you can really look at it later, maybe add some to some editing.
Okay.
But in the star you see Ma'at. Ma'at is normally depicted with her arms outstretched.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think I have it in this book because this is the ministry book. But my aunt is normally out representing her arms outstretched. You'll see her. The significance of this, I have her sitting there with her arms outstretched, but also cupping the eye of Ra, which represents God of the sun.
Yeah.
You know, which can also be destructive, but also is the creator for all life. Life wouldn't exist without the sun. You know, so the sun is needed. But when we're out of balance, we'll feel the wrath of God. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so when we're out of balance, that's when we start suffering. And that's so-called the wrath of God. So my aunt represents restoring that balance. So when you see her cupping and kind of giving that gesture and also a kiss, like to calm the wrath, I'm going to restore the balance. And this will represent what moi and I. The significance of it being moi and I, my aunt, urban agriculture, and I. The moi represents what you call what's the word? Onomatopoeia, which represents the sound of something like a kiss, the moi. And I, you feel me? So she's kissing the I, moi and I, but it's also a double entendre because in the Rastafari we say I and I. So it's kind of like a play on words to say moi and I, me and I, you know what I'm saying? But restoring that balance is what this is about. So moi and I, we're here to empower our community with the education to restore the balance of living. And that's what we're doing chiefly with moi and I. Thank you, brother.
And I got another question, man. I got a couple questions, but I'm gonna ask this one first. Now, don't y'all do some type of gardening or teach the community? Can you go into that? What you do for the community and how long you been doing that as far as in with the garden? Because I believe in we teach we speak about how important it is to be self-efficient. I've been gardening since November. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna hold you, since November 2024. And I've been and everything I've been harvesting, I've been realizing, like I told Cuz, I said, man, you know, lettuce got a taste. You know, like lettuce actually has a taste. Like lettuce actually tastes like something. My whole life I thought lettuce don't have no taste. I'm like, man, let me eat this. I said, what? Lettuce got a taste. Then I had some oregano. Then I had some basil. Then I had now I got some bell pepper sprout. And I had some okra. You know, so I'm growing a couple of things. I'm realizing like this is different. Not only is it free, and I can get it anytime, the taste and the quality is better. Sure. So why am I paying, and I said this a long time ago, why the hell do we pay for something that grows out the ground? Why, if you really think about that, that shit is the most stupidest shit we do. We pay to be lazy. You know what I mean? Now people paying people to go grocery shop for them. So it's getting crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, damn. But let me get back to what I was asking you, man. Because that's why I rocked with you. You gave us a cherry plant, and we got it in our backyard. We got it growing. We got it growing. You know what I mean? So we got it growing in this. We got it growing in the backyard. But I'm probably gonna uproot it when I move, if I move. But anyway, how long? Let them know how long y'all been doing. Y'all been gardening, and exactly how many gardens y'all got. What you grow. Just get into the messiness and into it.
Well, let me give you the why, what we're doing, okay? What we're doing is promoting self-sufficiency, showing people how to really grow their own food. That's the first step of self-sufficiency.
Yeah, agreed.
Now,
agreed.
The reason I started this it was in 2020. I've been growing food most of my life, you know, begrudgingly as a child. When I went to foster care, I got exposed to it, and then when I got adopted to another family in Evansville, we did a lot of gardening, and that was through my childhood up to my teenage years, and I kind of left it alone, through my young adulthood. But I started having my own children, and having to be away for so long, always working and barely making ends meet. You know, I was a single father. You know, I'm raising 3, you know, but I had 6 children altogether. So in my mind, you know, I'm rational. Like, it makes more sense to me just to grow some food. So I went out to my front yard. You know, I'm in Hallville, you know, and on King, everybody is like, what is he? Ain't nobody seen nobody do nothing like this out
Yeah.
here. I done took a pitchfork. I'm turning over soil.
Yeah, that's exactly what they was calling you. Look at this nigga.
Man, what are you doing?
Hey, you not even knowing.
I got the kids out there. They taking the grass, and I got them shaking the soil loose and throwing the grass to the side. So we got a nice plot bigger than this room even. I done turned over by hand.
Yeah.
And I plant everything. I'm talking about everything except for corn, because I never wanted to mess with corn. But I planted everything. It had watermelon, tomatoes, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, carrots. Like, it had everything. It had so much food going. I'm giving away food. But to have my children out there doing it, and I remember how I felt when I was their age to be made to do it. But at this time now, I can actually appreciate it.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like the least amount of time I have to spend away at a job and to buy food, that's more time I can really put and be here with them.
Agreed.
Because I'm always conscious about, I'm away from home all the time. The only time they see me is when I come home and it's time for me to go to bed.
Yeah.
Get up and in the morning and do it all over again. So I always was struggling for that balance.
Yeah.
You got to have that home life balance.
You do.
So, if you only got 16 waking hours in a day and 8, 10, or 12 of them is gone at the job site, and then you come back home and you got your children, everybody should get their own time. Like, each child needs to have time with you.
You're right.
Your mate should have time with you.
100%.
You need to have time with you. But if you only got 2 or 3 hours left, then you got to go back. Now that's imbalance. Now we're dis-eased. You feel me?
Yep.
That dis-ease comes in. You know what I'm saying? So now we're dealing with a sick society because everybody's operating in a way that is not meant for us to operate. We're social beings, but we're not able to be social in a natural setting. You know what I mean? So to me, that was my introduction to when I started back in my adulthood growing food. Some years later, I had a motorcycle accident, broke my back, my neck. I was out for like 2 months in the hospital. That's a whole nother journey. I'll tell you about time travel while I was gone. When I went under.
We're going to get into that. We still got to talk about your childhood, but go ahead.
We got time, for sure.
I ended up breaking my back and my neck and everything. Come home. I want to grow food still, but I can't do it the way I was doing it. So at my cousin's house, this was 2017, I believe, we built the first high-rise garden. We took some pallets from my job, built up a shelf, and made it to where now, you can stand up and it's waist high. I did that with my 3 children, with 3 of them out there. And from that moment, I was like, I can make something out of this. I'll make this to a concept. And I started developing. That's when the whole why and I started coming to mind. It was 2020 when I finally realized it. But 2020, what happened was I had, 2015, I was in federal custody. My son, I got called, and my son had got locked up in Muncie for a drugstore robbery. They were trying him as an adult, no violent, because they said it was violent because he had a car or had a letter. But when he goes to get sentenced, they charge him with possession charge of the narcotics, but still charge him as an adult and sentence him as an adult for 5 years. So while I'm trying to, I come home, I can't even go see my son. I can't visit him while he's there before he even goes to court, before he gets sentenced. And then when he goes to prison, I can't even visit my son because I'm a felon. And we'll give context to that even, there's a lot to it. But I don't get to see my son, and he's in there. So now I'm trying to fight and get some justice for him, but I'm going to community organizations, NAACP, churches, to try to see, hey, there's an injustice being done to my son. He's a child. He's 16 years old, being charged in adult for a nonviolent crime. This is injustice. Nobody wanted to do anything about it because it's drug-related. And then when I got to understanding that not-for-profits and how they couldn't really do anything to help, because if the solution is political, then not-for-profits can't do anything with politics. They'll default, or they'll take away their tax exemption status. So that's the game. So I'm like, well, if we need political action taken to find resolution for problems for us, and these churches and these not-for-profits can't do it, then who can do it for us? We got to do it for ourselves. So I fell back onto self-sufficiency. All right, so now it was to start a movement, start an organization, but I didn't have a board. I didn't know how to start, a not-for-profit. Not-for-profit was inefficient anyway, so I'm like, let me start a business, but this business is not more, because I'm not a capitalist, it's really more about awareness. Hey, y'all, there's a problem going on, and the problem is we don't have what we need. We got to leave our homes to provide, and when we leave our homes, we're leaving our children, subjective to whatever's out here, whatever person, because when they're seeing me coming back and forth from home, and I'm tired, I'm worn out, and I'm telling them that this is what you got to do to make it, but everybody else has more time to spend with them and impart on them those values or those things that are held more in higher value than what I'm trying to teach to them, then that's the imbalance. That's from the disconnect. So if we can do something to at least start with growing our own food, then that'd be one step. But it's further than that. So that's why I started with Moi and I. My objective was to really, this is my protest. I started out, that's why I was hashtagging. This is my protest, because right around the time is when Black Lives Matter and all that was going on, and I'm like, everybody's going out here, y'all go march, sing, do all that, but what are we really doing after? What's the game plan? Everything else is performative and reactive. We got to do something. What are we gonna do? Like we don't feed ourselves. We look at what's going on at these grocery stores because pandemic, all this was going on. We can't get formula for babies. We can't get food for ourselves. What are we gonna do? We dependent on these folks, and they're dependent on us being messed up and dependent on them. So I'm like, I can no longer participate and be a part of this. We got to do something different. My objective was to I went down to Texas for a home building aircrete home building workshop because, like I said, my idea is that we can build homes. We can build our own homes. Yep. We can provide our own power. So if we build our homes, provide our power, grow our own food, what do we need? We can alleviate that stress off a family having to pay for their existence. That's the idea. So while I'm down there with this man at this aircrete at his workshop, he's giving me game. I call him. I was calling him Yoda. I call him Yoda of the desert. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But cool white man down there in Texas. But he hit me to 508C1A. Yep. Like, so what is that? He's telling me this is a faith-based organization, and you don't have to ask for a tax exemption. You're already. He breaks it down to me about the Johnson Amendment law. Had that passed down in 1954 because all churches were already tax exempt before 1954. Johnson, what's his name? Lyndon Baines, L.B. Johnson, when he was running for Congress, his opponent was being funded by a not-for-profit. So LBJ, when he gets in there, when he wins, they immediately put a bill through called the Johnson Amendment Act that made all not-for-profits now have to file for 508C1A status, and they cannot participate in anything political. They can't support a campaign. They can't push policy or ask for policy to be changed. So, and if they do, they yank all their tax exemption. Now, what happened was churches were left clear of that. They didn't have to do that. But people started filing as 508C1A to be recognized to be able to participate in certain funding, grants, and all that going on. And then, who was Bush? Was it Bush that came along in the 90s and gave all this money to churches to where they could start, making money and getting this funding. So everybody started filing 508 or 501c3 because that was just a way to go get the bag, get some money, get the church built up. Church can buy businesses, can buy real estate, and that's what started happening. But as long as you don't say nothing about the problems or do anything or look for real resolution, you can get this money. And that's what everybody started doing. So if we have these community organizations that get all this money, they get 10% out the community. Why we can't take 10% of that 10% that y'all get put all together and go have a lobby fund or go have a legal fund? You know what I mean? That's how we can. If we really think that we can if some kind of justice is really to be derived out of the system, then let's go let's go do this, But they don't want to do that because that's the hard way. And we start talking to the church about them being more active and not going along with the system, going along to get along. Then you have a problem. That's why they hung up Jesus. He started fucking with the church's money. After he went to the church and started flipping over the tables and whipped the street
you can't do this.
Not in my daddy's house. Y'all got, come on now.
Yeah, they said,
what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Y'all change, money changed and everything. You look at and the insanity of it, man, because you have churches now who open these businesses who even have banks. If you're a church, how can you really have a bank? Because a Christian, by law, by their book, says that usury is a sin. You ask a Christian now, what is usury? They don't know what it is. I had an argument with some church folks one day about usury, how it was wrong. They didn't understand. Usury is interest. Because it's wrong. Think about the pathology behind, I know you don't have enough money to afford this right now, so I'm going to charge you extra for it. You know what I mean? That's wrong. That's exploitation. You know what I mean? But now we have normalized that. That's why we have in the Zion community, I don't want to say too much or whatever, but them folks out there, they were commissioned by the Europeans, by the Christians, the Muslims to come in the land and actually do business, to be the money changer, because they did this practice. It was illegal for Christians and the Muslims to do this to one another. You feel me? So, but accepting that culture, and that's what we come to accept and assimilate and normalize things by being in it. So now even where the church was supposed to have some resolution, to have some safety and some sanctuary from a sick culture, a sick world, we have that no more. Everybody's chasing the bag. That's why you got what's the with the churches now, what's the message they got now? What do they call it? Profiteering or prophet preaching or what you know what I'm talking about? I'm not familiar. It's a style of preaching when they talk about
Baptist
getting money, getting the bag is you're supposed to get it. That's like the
money Christ. I ain't no Christian.
It's something. It's a term they got for it. I forgot.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
It's like
I'm tracking though.
Jesus in the dollars.
That is so.
They put Jesus in dollars.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how they make money.
When the man said Jesus, when the rich man said Jesus, what must I do to be in hell to be saved? He said, you got whatever you got to sell all of it, get rid of it. That man left. He wasn't trying to hear that.
No.
You feel me? Because he said, a rich man has a chance to get into heaven the same as a camel through the eye of a needle. Because the understanding is that in order for you even to get to this wealth, this level of wealth, to get to us, you got to have some dirty hands. There's something you have to do. And you're connected in some way. Nothing inside of this society happens in a vacuum. You feel me? So in some way, you got some dealings to do with what's going on in the world. And if we normalize what's going on, I talk about Freedom Freddy. If we normalize it, we want to become like it. We have Freedom Freddy. He was a millwright on the plantation. He got to buy himself free and get his freedom.
Yeah.
We looked up to Freddie because now he out in the free world, but now he's invested into commodities. He's invested into the iron and cotton. We in the fields wearing the iron, picking the cotton that he's making him rich, but we aspire to be like him. But his wealth only exists because we are here in this field. So we normalize what's wrong, and then now we don't have any kind of resolution from it, or nobody really say that this is wrong or this is what we need to do. So we really left on our own. So we have to come back to that self-sufficiency. That's what we're coming back to. So let's build our own homes, build our communities. Let's insulate ourselves from what is hurting us, what's harming us. We got to be able to protect ourselves. So my idea was that we start this business as a plea for help. You know what I'm saying? This is a wake-up call. This is awareness. And as we started this, I met my love, Chris. We started. I was at Flutter House at a community project. This is my second community project, and I just came back from Texas on the Air Creek, learned about 508c1a, and she came out, and right away from day one, she came out there, knew she doing with the saw, with the drill. Like, I'm like, this woman, she got my heart. You know, woman know how to handle some wood. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you feel me? And then like we connected, man. It was like really from that day on, I don't think we really left one another. You know, she ended up moving in with me, and you know, she had her crib downtown, nice apartment and everything, and my son at the time was still incarcerated, and I'm looking at the means I'm trying to get there and get to him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if I'm clergy, I can go in there as clergy. They can't deny him as clergy. So now I get ordained. We create my Ot9 Incorporated. Now my idea is to go inside this prison, so now we can reach and touch not only my son but other men in there. Because in order for us to build the community that we need, we got to restore the men, to put these men in a position where they need to be in the community. Because I know my problem was being invalidated in the community, with being left dependent on another man to tell me how much my time is worth, and then I got to figure out how I'm gonna make it work for my children. You know what I mean? And that for me was the hard part. So if I'm as a man, why do I need to go to you to be able to provide for mine? If I can build my own home, if I can provide my own food, create and have my own energy, why, you know what I'm saying, why do I need to put myself through this? I pictured a wolf, you know what I'm saying, I talk about a wolf, the big alpha wolf telling his kids and everything at the door, like, I'm going to go out here, you know, get some food for y'all and feed y'all. When I come back, everything is good. Yeah. Then you cut to the scene, he come back, he's coming through the door bloody and broken up and beaten, teeth hanging out his mouth, you know what I'm saying? And he got a little sliver of steak to handle, but you look out the backyard, everything he need is right there. He didn't have to go anywhere. But because we've been programmed to believe, like you're saying, that we have to do this by this certain way, and then conditionally that to do something, to grow your own food, to build your own home, do all this, to be looked down upon, like, that's been a mind fuck that's been put on us. Because before everybody had grass, everybody had gardens. It wasn't until, you know, Jefferson and them, they came up with this this grass. You know what I mean? It's a flex. I got all this land.
I learned that from HOA.
I ain't got to do nothing with it. I can just let it grow. And I can pay somebody to cut it. I don't need nothing out of it. You still growing food? Well, I'll pay somebody to grow mine. I get it from them. You know, I'm gonna pay somebody to cook my food. So now we want to normalize going out to eat. We want to celebrate what we do. We'll go out to eat at a restaurant where somebody's getting exploited for their time and their labor. But for us, it's big because we're not doing our own labor. We're not cooking our own food. We got a servant to serve us, and we feel privileged, or we feel entitled to have our food served in a certain way, a certain manner. You know what I mean? Great. And that's why they make that person dependent on us to pay their wage. If we can't pay for them to serve us, we shouldn't be eating there anyway. You know what I mean? Because it really ain't for us. We got poor people going to exploit other poor people to make ourselves look good. You feel me? That's the insanity in it. So the culture is what we have to get around, and that's what we have to implant, is a different culture. So in doing that, my objective was to create my Ot9 Incorporated, for us to create that culture around life. What does it take for us to create life and sustain life? We have to empower our community, and that comes back to getting our men. I wanted to do a prison visit program. You know, I wanted to reach out to the men in there who are already skilled in the trades.
Did you get to reach your son?
My son ended up coming home. My son did the full 5 years. Okay. I wasn't able to get up there to him right at the end when I'm formulating, getting everything to go. He comes home Father's Day weekend. Father's Day weekend, I see my son. You know, my love and I, we're going out to go see Elise Sadiq that weekend. And that was her Father's Day gift to me. And I saw him, and that was the first time I saw him in 5 years. The picture that I have here of us here, that was that day in my driveway. You'll see it on the book as well. That's my book. But 6 weeks later, he took his own life. I was in a meeting with brothers, some brethren, formulating, putting this ministry together at a church, meeting with a couple other Christian preachers. And I got the call that he had taken his life. So for me, the realization that this world, the society that we live in, the norms that we set, you know, that 40-hour work week, you know, that 40 plus, because for an average black man, a felon, you're doing more than 40 hours a week, because they're gonna tell you that, you know, we got a job for, yeah, we hire felons, but guess what the pay is? You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
What created the conditions for my son to be exposed to that and took him away was this society. I can't celebrate anything so-called good inside of it without realizing that the prison industrial complex is part of it. The nonprofit industrial complex is part of it. The healthy industrial complex is part of it. The educational industrial complex is a part of it. Everything that we do, every time we spend that dollar, every time we pay a tax, you know what I'm saying, we are contributing to our demise, our dysfunction, because this system as it is, it needs us to be dysfunctional for it to live. I decided at that moment, it was shortly after my son's funeral. I'm trying to go make some money, and you know, I'm like, this is crazy to me. I don't have time to even be human, because I can't even mourn my son.
That's real.
You know what I mean? This is like, there's no space in society to even realize, or, you know, like, that's. So.
What you mean?
I told her, like, love, I'm done. I'm giving my life full over to this ministry. That's what I'm doing. And I can't do what needs to be done part-time. And it was really hard at the time, because she had just moved in with me. She gave her a nice apartment downtown Meridian and everything. She had moved in with me. Like, not even probably a couple months before that, had fully committed. We'd been together for about a year, you know. But I told her then, I was working on a project at a school on the east side, at the Evolve Education Center. I don't know if you know about Brother Nell Howard.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I told her, I'm like, I'm going to move into the school and live off grid and show people how to do it, what needs to be done, you know. And she supported it. She moved with me, you know what I mean? Like, y'all don't understand how big that is, because at that time to go from my house, nice home, you know, so my garden was, you know what I'm saying, it was crazy. People coming down the street, stopping just to get out, come knock on my door, you know. I'm leaving food out for people, you know. My idea was to show people, give people the model of what we could do. That's why it's called urban homesteading. You know, we called ourselves the Hallville Homestead Couple, showing people the example of how you can live in your city, in your environment where you are, and be self-sufficient. But I said, I'm not paying this society or this civilization another dime. I'm not giving no more of my energy, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I minimize as much as possible. And that's what I did. And we moved to that school and lived in that school for almost a year, you know, off grid. We generators, you know, brought water out there, you know, started that farm. That farm is still existing today. If you go out there from the ground up with Autumn Lowry, you know, she's still running that farm out there. We built that farm from the ground, literally, me and her, you know. And that's how this journey really started for us, kind of like the launch pad, because I kept telling my love, like, this is our opportunity to show what can be done, what the possibility is, you know, to show that we can live off grid, we can provide our own power, we can grow this food out here. I really want to do more than what we did. I really want to do almost like a podcast to showcase how we were actually living in the school. But because of certain restrictions, because of liability issues, whatever, we couldn't really even say that we were living there. You know what I mean? But that was my idea, was really to showcase what we were doing. But some of that footage will be coming out now since we are, not there anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the ministry, our ministry now is the idea to create that village. And we can create a village where we teaching our people to grow their own food, to build their own homes. Imagine we take take an organization, something like Habitat for Humanity. Habitat for Humanity, they take and put people into homes, right? But they put them into perpetual loans, where they're in a mortgage, they're bound, and they're still struggling to survive. Mm-hmm. Why we can't build a home for people where it's free? We can build a home for less than $10,000. The math's been done. We know we can do it. You know what I mean? We can make that home totally self-sufficient. It can provide its own power. Closed circular water systems, We in Indiana, they have a law called the Indiana Log Cabin Rule, where by law you can build your home from the ground up off grid. The only requirement is that you tie into the sewage. No big deal. You can do that, but you still have plenty of circulation on that water before it finally goes out to sewage. And even if you got it tied in the sewage, who says how much you really got to use anyway? You know what I mean? So, but we could take something like and model that Habitat for Humanity and have the people building their homes. They might not know how to do anything but mix paint. But if they're out there on site putting in sweat equity and we got the professionals building a home, we can put that family in a home and cut out their need to pay for their existence, that stress and that strain. And then whatever they do decide to work or do, it's more for the benefit of the home, for the society. So if we have a community of people who are skilled, we got carpenters, we got electricians, we got plumbers, we got and they're doing regenerative applications like the solar, the water purification, solar or wind turbine technology. The agriculture, regenerative agriculture is what we're doing. If we have the people in our community who do this, and we don't need money really amongst ourselves because we provide what we need. Brother needs a home, we're going to build this home. Mm-hmm. Need a bed, we're going to build the beds. We have what we need, but what we do is we have a special skill set that we take outside of our community and we market that. We go build your regenerative homes. We can build your solar systems to other communities, to other people. If you want a home built right and done in a regenerative fashion, we can do it. And we're known for that, and we have our own high quality. You know what I mean? When you contract the Amish, you have expectation. Yeah. When you come and you contract anybody from the village, you have an expectation of that level of work, where it's going to be done. You know what I mean? And that's what we can create ourselves. But we have to be content enough with creating our own, defining our own. And that's what we're doing with regenerative urban farming. Mm-hmm. With Moa and I, what we've done is we've actually positioned ourselves in partnership with USDA and SARE, right? Now, are y'all familiar with the martial arts?
Not too much.
No. Mm-mm.
You familiar with jiu-jitsu or judo? You understand or aikido?
When I was in college, I had a self-defense class. Mm-hmm. It was our martial conditioning coach. He was an amateur MMA fighter. Mm-hmm. So he was teaching us some techniques. It was probably I don't know if I was in there 1 semester or 2 semesters, but he was teaching us some moves that he was learning from his MMA training regimen, essentially. Yeah, and showing us, and it was basically all student athletes in there, so we in here doing all types of stuff. How to get up off our backs, all type. We doing all these different moves and stuff. So it was a mixture of everything.
And when you like MMA, it's a lot of grappling, a lot of counter weight, Mm-hmm. So jiu-jitsu, judo, aikido, these disciplines really exercise more counterbalance, joint manipulation, like a lot of defensive kind of moves, right? Yep. And I say we are in partnership with USDA SARE. You have to understand the history of USDA and how complicit they've been in the problems and what we face. And it started with the food. I always say it's bigger than food. but it starts with the food.
Agree.
You know what I mean? And when we understand it, how the food guidelines and regulations of what's been normalized in this culture when we eat and how we grow things, right? It was done through a certain culture. And that culture has a certain aim or agenda, right? Or a way of life. If our agriculture is dictated by another culture and they tell us that there's no culture without agriculture, what culture are we really exemplifying or are we really demonstrating when we are eating or we consuming or growing the way that we grow if it's not by us? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
Regenerative is this term that now is trending. I've been talking about regenerative agriculture since I've started doing this message or on this journey. But at first we started at Sustainable Saturdays. So when we were at the school, we were teaching Sustainable Saturdays. We started hosting classes.
That's where I met y'all at. I met y'all out there. I think it was Stan, Brother Howard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing a tour. I think it was when it just first opened up, like over a couple months after that.
Yeah.
They took me on a tour. I met Autumn too out there. And he's like, I got these two people that doing their thing at the school. And I think that's when we officially met. I think we were friends on Facebook before then though.
Okay.
That's when I officially met y'all.
Yeah.
I was like, I connected the dots, and this all just coming full circle now. I was already inspired, but now the English words I've learned in school can't describe the feeling I have right now. As I'm listening to you paint the picture on how foolish we have been living an anti-life culture. We gotta tighten up, fam.
Was that for the tube? How you said that anti-life?
That just came to me.
You know, like that was slick. I see how you did it.
Nah, that just came. That's real shit though. It's anti-life. It's fuck.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And it's
I always say deaf culture. You know what I'm saying?
Deaf culture, anti-life.
Anti-life. I thought you say that for the
No. That literally just came to me.
Oh,
That literally just came to me.
Yeah.
And we gotta tighten up, y'all. Cousin, I definitely gonna be sitting at your feet to get some more wisdom so we can start implementing and changing our lives for sure.
Respect.
Cause we about to lock in.
Respect. I mean, that's what it is, man. It's a deaf culture, and we have picked up on so much and normalized so much of it that we don't really look at the root of it and see it for what it is. You know what I mean? So,
everybody dead young. I see what you mean. Food killing you, deaf culture. You make money off of death, man. I never forget, man. A businessman, he told me that. He said, if you really want to make money, do something where it involves death, because people are always dying. And you can make a lot of money off of it. I said, damn. I said, what kind of loss? You know what I mean? You know, and I agree with you that too. I was realizing this too. That's crazy, because I actually put this in my notes to talk about it later, and I was thinking about, it's crazy how you be hearing people always say money over everything, money value. Man, I don't be caring what people say. I'm just getting my money and money. Everybody always, when they get in their feelings or their feelings get hurt, they run to like, money over everything. I don't care about people. I'm just gonna get to my bag. And then when you really think about it, money is the least valued thing. Because if it was so valued, we would keep it. That's why I was like, we would keep it. We wouldn't give it out. You give money to eat. You give money to live. You give money to everything. Something that's very valuable, you wouldn't be giving it out like that. You know what I mean? People throw money at strippers. You know, people throw money, give money. It's all type of stuff you do with money. Money is the least valued thing. It just somehow they tricked us, because money don't grow on trees. But everything else we use the money to buy actually does, quote unquote, grow on trees. Even this microphone, the metals and everything that was used on here comes from the earth. You know what I mean? It comes from the earth. You know, it's earth. It was given to us. You know, money, we made up that concept. We made this whole thing is made up. And I be saying that's why people fucked up. Because we letting this thing that somebody made money fuck up all our relationships. We run up to it. You know what I mean? We always money. We put so much value into something that holds no value.
Well, I have a question for you.
What's crazy is we put so much value into it. We allow them to rob us of the most valuable thing that we have, and that's our time.
Yep.
Yeah.
They pimp us for our time, for exchange for money. So you think about somebody has a wage, hourly wage job, and they're going to spend whatever a pair of Jordans costs, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at it, when you start looking and transferring that to your time, your life, you've given your life energy for a purchase.
Man,
you know what I mean? When you transfer, you break it down. Like, it took me 20 hours of my life to purchase this product.
Yeah, ain't that crazy?
When you start thinking about it like that, you know what I'm saying, you will value it a little more, you know what I mean? Like
that's how I started thinking. As soon as I stopped selling drugs, and I told cousins, I said this on here, I stopped selling, and I'm like, man, I'm going to my coworkers. I'm like, man, because everything started hitting me. Because when you stop selling drugs, you start working in a working field. It's different. I was like, y'all, we getting paid I was getting paid like $13.50 at the time. This is like somewhere in 2017, 18, 19, around there. I was like, man, a pack of chicken costs that much or something like that. I said, it take a whole damn hour to buy a pack of chicken. I said, man, this shit fucked up, bro. Just one. I said, man, and I said, it did one pack of chicken. I eat 2, 3 my damn self. So it take me 3 hours. I do all this work for these people. I said, man, look at all this much money we get them in 3 hours. And in 3 hours, I only can eat a pack of chicken. I said, man, look, and then that's when it hit me. I said, they don't pay, people, you know the pan, right? The pan of pie. Everybody like, give me a piece of the pie. They don't give us pieces of the pies. They don't give us crumbs of the pies. You know what part of the pie they give us? You know when you take the pan and when you about to throw it away in the dishwasher, but it got the little scrapes, the little scrape shit.
Stuck on there.
Yeah, the little shit that got stuck on there. That's what you getting. I swear to God, that's what they give us, bro. They give us that. They be like, oh, hold on, before we wash the dishes, man, we forgot to break you off. Here you go. Survive off that. Cause there's no way in hell it take me 2 hours to buy a pack of chicken or 2 packs of chicken. But my 2 hours, I done made the company at least probably $200,000.
Yeah.
Probably so, because I'm doing all of this work. I understand they got shit to pay for too, but I do too.
It's capitalism. Bro.
And that's a perfect segue to the question I had, cuz. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, cuz.
So for someone that's listening to this as a lineage leader and looking to make that transition for that family to become self-sufficient, right? You've walked that path. Someone wants to do it, but they have to, hold on, I got to rent due in a few weeks. Hold on, I can't just leave tomorrow, right? Just being realistic in air quotes, right? But we shape our own realities, but that's a different conversation. What are some tangible things people can start doing? Let's say they got to sleep on it. What can they tangibly do? People can tangibly do starting tomorrow to set themselves up to be self-sufficient. I want to give some people the game here.
I say first and foremost, when they said that the revolution will not be televised, what he meant was the revolution is in your mind. We have to change our perception. We have to change how we see things. What we think we need, we don't need. So that's where it starts. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I really need? You know what I mean? What do I really need all this stuff? Because everything that I commit to is requiring time and energy for me to consume or for me to get. So what do I really? Can I exist without this? You know what I mean? Or does this really benefit my life, or is it really taken away from my life? You know what I mean? So we got to start minimizing, taking away. You know what I'm saying? The things is taking away more energy than what it requires. You know what I mean? If I know me and my family, we can go get a big house, big piece of property, and I'll split the bills because we see what's going on with this big, beautiful bill going on. You know, let's get together and let's minimize these bills so that we can, you know, save up and go buy a piece of property, piece of land somewhere, you know what I mean? And have a game plan, start executing the plan. Because my love and myself, we are on the path.
Yeah.
We not totally self-sufficient. We still on the path. What we did, what it looked like for us was going and staying at the school, you know, then buying us an RV. You know, currently right now we're in the RV. We've been living full time in the RV. It's our second year now. You know,
that's what my wife been talking about.
Get the RV.
I mentioned that too.
You know what I mean? Now, when I was when I first started talking like this 10, 15 years ago, thought I was crazy. Everybody, you know, like, bro, what you talking about? Now it's trendy. Now you start seeing more and more of it.
So now it's trendy.
You know what I mean?
I like how you said it, bro. My fault.
You know what I mean? Everybody want to do it.
Said now it's trendy.
Everybody want to go live off grid. You know,
Sure.
like. But if we haven't prepared ourselves to live off grid, just because now we follow what everybody's saying, because now it seems like that's what's necessary, but we haven't prepared ourselves for it. That's another dangerous situation. You heard about what happened in Liberia, right? After emancipation, you feel me? Like Liberia was a mess.
Yeah.
So that's what we said. We got to set ourselves up for it and be prepared for it. So in essence, in getting ready to go live off grid, you got to prepare yourself with the skills.
Agreed.
So that means go somewhere, you know, get your family together. Y'all get some resources together. Y'all start practicing skills, start building, looking at what you're going to be doing. Somebody study solar, somebody studies plumbing, somebody study, you know what I mean?
Look, man, you've been speaking our language this whole time. You don't even know, man. And that's why I brought you on here, because a lot of people don't. We gotta understand that how important this is, because in 2054 or 2053 or whatever they keep saying, the 2050s, we going back to slaves, because they say, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. They say black folks supposed to make an income of $0 by 2050. Last time we was making $0, man. What were we? Bro, slaves, man. So everything you saying being self-sufficient, that means we don't have to worry about being slaves, because we wouldn't have to buy food, we wouldn't have to buy likes from them, we wouldn't have to buy everything. But I want to ask you this though. Okay, now all of this is coming from, man, and you said earlier, you know, you was adopted. I want to get a little in your childhood, man, because where's all this energy coming from? How was it for you when you start growing up? How was young Stebo before he was Minster Stebo? What was the things you were leading up to, and what was you doing in your younger childhood? And also, man, then when you talk about that, also I want you to get into how you said you went to the feds, what you learned, and how you became out better and all of that too as well.
So, when I was young, I'm originally from here, from Indianapolis, Zuniville Projects originally. I'm the oldest of 5. My mother, she was an alcoholic, dysfunctional alcoholic. A lot of shit I saw as a child that I shouldn't have saw and been exposed to. My father, you know, was a good dude, you know, for what I know. You know, he always had us with him. You know, they would get into it, whatever, and I wanted to go stay with him. What happened one night, eventually I said, man, I'm tired of this. I saw men, you know, strange men going in and out my mother's room. She's in there passed out, you know what I mean? I'm knowing what's going on then. I'm 7.
Yeah.
You know, so at this age, I'm already cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm making sure they're not drinking, picking the wrong cups, you know, a lot going on. I said this night, I'm like, man, I'm tired of this. I'm about to go call Daddy at work. He worked at Wisher Hospital at the time, was my auntie Chris' house. He came to get us. Well, he told us, I'm coming to get y'all. The next morning, he take us down to Family Social Services to go through the process to get us. They interview, I'm telling them what's going on, because at this point, I'm like, you know, I just want to go live with Daddy, you know. So they come and tell us, well, we got to take y'all for a little while. He can come back and get y'all eventually. He's telling us that he going to come and get us that Friday. This is 88, in 1988, right before Christmas. So my brothers and sisters, they balling out, they crying. I'm big bro though. I got to be strong. So something's gonna be all right. Pa's gonna come get us Sunday. Get us Friday. I'm 7. We've been through a couple like what do you call it, the shelters and stuff like that before. So at this point, I always got to be big bro. I gotta be strong for him. So that Friday, I mean, we at the Guardian Home. Used to be a Guardian Home here. I don't know if it's the Guardian Home still open. Do y'all know?
No,
I have no idea.
Guardian Home. It used to be like an orphanage basically.
Yeah.
And it's on the east side, right off of Ritter and off of Washington down there.
I don't think it's there right there, because it ain't right there.
Yeah. But we went there and they separated us. I'm the oldest of 5. I'm the big boys group. My brothers, they got separated. They was together though, because I think they was close to the same age. And then my sisters, both of them were separated from one another.
Damn.
So we there, it's Christmas time going on. We got to go to a field trip one time, and I saw my sister. We sat beside one another, held hands the whole time. We was in the station wagon. Come back, I go to another field trip that week. Friday comes around, I forget. Come back after the field trip, I see my brother and sister gone. I get wind they gone. So I'm packing up, like I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Daddy came to get us, it's Friday, I'm ready to go. They come and tell me that my daddy couldn't take me because he wasn't my real daddy. No, I was a daddy's boy. You feel me? Like that hurt my whole world. Like it fucked me up. So I remember crying so hard that I had caught an earache. That night.
Damn.
And I was like, man, this will be the last time I'm ever gonna cry. You know what I mean? A couple of days later, they came to tell me about a woman down the way who's gonna, had a foster home that I could go move into. And they took me to this woman's house, Miss Johnson, older woman. Her husband was a World War II vet. Had the garden and all that. Got exposed to that. A couple years later, I lost contact with my brothers and sisters. Caught up with them again like the following year, right before Christmas. So I got to spend Christmas with them. And there's kind of a pattern with Christmas through my life. So it's probably why I got a real disdain for Christmas now. Like. Yeah, Christmas, it rubs me the wrong way. But anyway, met with them. A couple years later, I got a family from Evansville, Indiana, one of the son. So I go with them. They come up here, see me, end up getting moved down there to Evansville, leaving my brothers and sisters again, and getting down there with them. Was at this home. It seemed like it was gonna be a good home because I would have a brother. He was older than me. First time I would have had somebody older than me, and a mom and a dad. But things were dysfunctional there because he was an alcoholic. So I went from the point of my mother being an alcoholic to now my father's an alcoholic. Then their relationship fell apart. My adopted brother, he was gone, sit back with his, because that wasn't her son, that was her stepson. So he went to go live with his real mother in Wisconsin. So now I'm there by myself with a woman who had a real disdain for men. Like she was like really, like really hated men. You feel me? So a lot of her anger that she had towards him, I would catch that. So it was a real abusive type situation. And it reminds me, it was kind of reminiscent of, if you remember the Antoine Fisher story.
Yeah.
Like that woman, that this reminds me of her. So anyway, so in my youth, going through all I was going through, being alone, books, I started reading a lot, and then eventually when I got to high school, ended up getting a foster brother and sister there, and then after that, I had my first child my junior year. My oldest daughter, she was born in '97. I wanted family. I didn't have family, so, and my rationale at the time was, the only family I could have was the family I create. So at a young age, I had family, it wasn't really intentional in that way, but in a way it was. Then after that, another 2 years after I had my son, and with the same girl, I had 2 other children with her, so we had 3 children together. And at the end of that, I ended up having 6 children eventually. My youngest now, she's 10, 21, 22, 24,
6 kids.
20, and 27.
I only got 3, man. You got
my
that.
son would have been,
6.
My son would have been 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keely.
So you only have one son?
No, I have 3 sons.
Okay.
3 sons, 3 girls.
Oh, okay. Got an equal number. That's
balance.
Yeah, balance. Balance.
Yeah. So, Yeah, so have my children, man, and being a father was, to me, was my biggest joy. That was my duty. Being able to be there for, wanting to be there for them, but not being able to be there for them too was a hardship for me my whole life because I'm conscious of it the whole time. I call myself, I'm working 3 jobs, and I'm hustling. I'm selling a little weed. I'm working at the nightclub. That's a dangerous job because every night I'm fighting. I'm working Mecca, 421, All-Star, Lotus. So if y'all know anything about them clubs,
yeah, I know about those.
You know what time it is.
Man, you was working for real.
So I said Mecca. I said it's not a club. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, Mecca, boy.
They coming to fight security. Yeah. I'm in Brightwood. I'm into it with Brightwood every weekend. It got to a point where then there was a respect. It was a respect factor established with Brightwood, where now, the OGs, they respected us, but we fighting with them every week because they come at 30 deep minimum every weekend. But we fighting, and we open 4 or 5 nights a week, so every night I'm fighting 4 or 5 times minimum. I mean, not just breaking up fights, fighting. You know what I mean? So going through that and then having to come home. So now I'm at home. I'm conscious that I have a home to protect. Yeah. I have children. You know what I mean? So niggas got guns. Mm-hmm. I gotta have guns too. But because I didn't go through due process of going and filing for a handgun permit, I get caught with a handgun. Mm. Now it's carrying without a license, Class A misdemeanor. Okay. So I got probation. I go to probation, my first day of probation, reporting. Come home, I'm dibbling dabbling in music back then, going to do some music. I call my homeboy, he's supposed to come through. I'm like, well, I gotta give me a 40, and you know what I'm saying, and run from the liquor store before we even started to get right for the session. So I go to get, I think it was some OE. I go to walk around the corner store. I'm at 10th and Rural. I stayed in a brick double right there next to the VP, right? So I'm walking around the corner. Before I leave out the door, I'm conscious like, man, I ain't got no pistol on me. I don't never leave the house without a pistol because I work security. I'm like, I done been in shootouts in the street and everything, like with my son in the car and everything, because I don't never start no fight. Ain't never been on tough guy shit, but shit happens, and when niggas is drunk, they gonna test you and they see you in public, it might go down. And it's, a couple times it has, right? So I'm constantly going to the liquor store around the corner, going to Doc's. So as I come around the corner, as soon as I get by the corner, by the store, I'm across the street by the Speedway gas station. A brother calls out, hey, you remember me? When you hear that.
Yeah, that ain't a good thing.
It's not good, what I mean? So I look, I see, bro, I recognize him. And the thing was, I'm like, I remember the whole incident. It wasn't like I had to fight dude or anything. I just wrapped him up and got him out of there. You know what I mean? I'm real, I'm a trained fighter also. I grew up fighting and training, so I really should have been fighting professionally. Had I not started having children, I would be able to commit time fully to training, but I couldn't commit the time to training like I needed to. And the way I was fighting MMA before they called it MMA. It was, they called it shoot fighting. Mm-hmm. So it was no gloves, no weight classes, none of that. This one, UFC was on TV, but it was pay-per-view only. Feel me? So that's what we was doing. So, and at that time, if you're not training hard, you're not getting that in that ring or getting that in that cage half-assed. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I couldn't really train like I wanted to. So I felt like, and being in the club, I wasted a lot of my time, a lot of my talent working in the club. But I applied my skills in the club because in that club, fighting was different. It wasn't like one-on-one fight. You might get somebody, you might go down to the ground, y'all might wrestle. Now you hit that floor, you might never get back up. Yeah. So I have to learn to be tactical and learn how to maneuver. Every time I touch something, it's got to touch, And because, like I said, if you get put down, you might not get up. So, and at the time, I'm about to get 220, you know what I'm saying? Bigger size then. I see him across the street, he holler out.
Damn, you was 220?
Yeah, I was 220 to the accident.
Okay.
In the accident, I woke up. I was 175, bro. Like,
Damn.
y'all, you ever seen with Captain America where he went a little thing and then when he was big, I was reversed, boy. Like,
My fault, man.
reversed.
Reverse
I
Super
was
Soldier
shrunk
syndrome.
up.
That's
I
crazy.
lost like an inch in height or something.
Damn.
Yeah, my body, man, it was crazy. Like, now I'm probably about 180, 190 maybe, but yeah, I was I was nice time,
Yeah.
Like I've been to something my whole life, damn near.
Damn,
Like, you gotta
that's
be to something to
crazy.
do something, you know what I mean?
Damn, that's crazy. I've been 150 my whole life. I couldn't imagine waking up being 200. That'd be crazy.
Mess me up, bro.
Yeah, but my fault.
So, I see, bro, he comes across the street. Now I know, it's going there.
Yeah.
He approached, bro, what you tripping on, man? You was out of line. You had to go. That's what I tell him. I let him swing. He swings. I put it on him, put him down. He gets up, put another combo, put him down. Now he calls his guys over. 2 of them run up. So the 2 of them run up. I put them down. He runs up, put him down. 2 of them run up, put them down. Now they go run off into the store. Now he's talking, bro, I'll be back. Woo, woo. I know what that means already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I go into the liquor store. I come back out. I got the 40. So if I gotta do anything, at least I got something I could throw or something. You know what I mean? He's coming back out. He got a Houston Rockets jersey. We're in the middle of 10th Street, 10th and Rule, damn near, right in front of that Speedway. Right there about a little. If you know 10th and Rule, there's a Speedway gas station right next to a liquor store. So I'm coming out now. I'm in the middle of the street. I'm holding up traffic because I seen him clutching. He got it tucked in his pants. So my thinking is if any way he moved, at least I have a little room out here in the middle of the street. I'm holding up traffic and everything. So I just want to get to the alley because as soon as I get to the alley, I can run straight to my back door, my side door, and go in the crib and grab Bathsheba. So I'm backing down the street, and he's clutching. He's talking about, yeah, bro, I'm gonna shoot the house, or woo, woo, woo. I know where you stay at, this, that, and other. So now I'm already locked in. When you threaten the house, you feel me? I know niggas do that kind of shit. They'll shoot up houses.
Yeah.
They scary, and I got a house full of children. My baby mama time, she was 9 months pregnant, like 8 months, damn near 9 months pregnant with my baby boy, who just turned 21. And I had my other 2 children. Her mother had just moved up with us, so her sister and her 2 sisters were actually there with us. So I had a house full of children and women. Bro, I can't let you make it to the house. That's my thinking. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I run. We get to the alley, back down the street. Finally, I get to the alley, and take off, run to the house, go inside. Shirt and everything's kind of tore up. Baby mama, her mom was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" They call me Teddy, is what they call me. That's my name. Then one of my million names I had.
Yeah.
I was Teddy at the time.
Million
names. Teddy, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, no, bro, down the street from the club. Like, and they see me, so I grab up Bathsheba. Bathsheba is my sawed off.
Yeah.
Now, I gave it Bathsheba because Bathsheba is a biblical name. Bathsheba's who brought down King David.
Yeah.
If you know King David, that was his downfall because he lusted over this woman and had her husband set up and killed just so he could get to her because he seen her while he was looking over his balcony. He saw her taking a bath, like, yeah, I gotta have her. You feel me? Hey, who's our man? I asked my sergeant, my most loyal man. Yeah, put him at the front line. Get him on out of here. The man didn't even want to leave him because he was protecting the gate to protect nobody so he get to him. He said, man, put him at the front gate. I gotta get him out of here. You know what I mean? But anyway, Bathsheba was the downfall. That's why he lost favor with God. That's just a little side story to the mythos. All right, but anyway, Bathsheba, I go grab her. I got on Dickie shorts. I got on Dickie shorts. I got my torn up shirt. I just got it. I'm about to just walk out the door just as is because I'm triggered now. Like, he's talking about making it to the house, and I can't let them shoot this house up.
Real talk.
So I'm walking out the door, and they grab me and, like, just try to calm me down. Like, cool. All right, you right. I'm cool. I'm crazy. I'm just about to walk out here. Everybody see you cool. All right, cool. They go back to the front room. I get back, my shirt on. Now I got it down my shorts. You know what I mean? I'm walking out the house, holding on to my shorts at the top. Trying to be discreet. But as soon as I come out my side door, there's a gate right here or a fence and a parking lot of the VP. right as I'm coming out the door is 2 squad cars in the parking lot. And then there's 2 more right in front of the house. I don't know what was said, but I guess they probably said something about a gun. But while they came to me, when dude is the one that had the gun, I don't know. So I see them, but I can't, the way I'm holding it, if I turn around, they'll see I'm holding it. So I'm like, let me just keep walking to my backyard. I walk to my backyard so I could let it slide out and drop it and kick it underneath my car. That's my objective. Because I see 2 more squad cars coming down the alley from both opposite ends. So I'm surrounded. So as I let it slide out, kick it under the car, everything's cool. I let it kick underneath the Chevy. I walk back towards the house. As I'm walking, as soon as I turn around, the police are already in my yard. You know what I mean? Like, where you going? I'm like, bro, I saying nowhere. We got a report on the fight down the street. Yeah, I just got into a fight. Some guys jumped me. It's all, nothing but a little fight, whatever. One more officer came back, and he's looking around, the only black officer. He's just looking. And he finally go all the way to the back. Because I had them, kind of like, cool, He found, we got a gun. So now I'm going, now I'm into
It's
it. I'm
always
about to
the
go to
black
jail.
one, man. They the worst officer.
Got to show out.
I swear they the worst
Got to
officer.
show out every time, man. And my baby mom, we just got into the night before because she done found out about, the chick, the club that I'm working with, the security. So, now, and she's 8 months pregnant. Now we got, I'm going away. So now it's on my mind. So I go away. But that right there led up to me having a Class D felony. Or I played out to a Class D felony. So now I'm a felon. Not because I'm out here wild and doing wild shit or on some crash dummy missions, but because I just naturally want to be able to protect my home. And as a man, my God-given right should be able to defend my home. I'm a working man. That's what I do. But because of the stipulation around law and all that, now I'm a felon. So fast forward 10 years later, I have the motorcycle accident, and I talked to my guy about a gun because, I'm back working in the nightclubs. I left the club back in 2009, like 2008, 2009. I was at Club Limelight. After it was Cloud 9, I left Cloud 9. Then Limelight, I started working at Limelight.
Bro, you work at the dangerous clubs.
Every club.
Sign me up for the dangerous
my
club.
I ran my own business.
That's what you was telling them.
Yeah. But I was known. I had reputation though. So we was respected. Our team, like everybody that a lot of the guys that's in the industry now that's still doing security, that's running the security team, a lot of them started with me from the Mecca. So Cruz, if you know who Cruz is, he's still doing a lot of spots. My guy, Mississippi and them, they still doing what's the name? Bear. Like they all started, we started the Mecca. But like myself, I was called the Pistol. They called me the Pistol. Why they call me the Pistol? Because when it's going bad, go get the pistol. You feel me? And so if you ever watch another movie, I'll make movie reference. One of my favorite childhood movies coming up was Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze. He was the cooler. You know what I mean? So when everything's going bad, y'all can't handle it, go get the cooler. So my job was to come in and try to talk it down. If not, if it gotta go physical, let me go physical because I can do it with some discipline and with some restraint and know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I was always leading my own crew at each spot. So I would get requested, I would get called to come to certain spots. You feel me? And that was my job. So I kind of, in a way, I kind of fell in identity with having that job. I feel like kind of valid because I couldn't fight anymore. I wasn't fighting, but I still had a way to, but it came with a dangerous side, which being exposed myself to put me on the front line with these niggas in the street. So that's why I left Cloud 9 because my last time working at that club was I was arguing with the girl at the door and they wanted to let some youngsters in. Everybody was young. I knew because I working in the industry, you get to see everybody out of clubs. You know who's who. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm like, they can't come in here. They not dressed right. We got a dress code for one. They not dressed right. They ain't got no IDs. I don't care what they pay. They gonna be a problem that we got to deal with. No, but instead of listening to us as security's first line, they allowed them to come in. And what happened at the end of the night? They the ones we dealing with. We outnumbered because y'all always want to cut security. I got to send people home. And then when we got to deal with the problem, we outnumbered. And y'all want to give us And this night is what pissed me off because they wanted to give us tasers. My whole career, I never used tasers, pepper spray, because to me, all I need was a pair of gloves. You feel me? If I gotta be put in a position to wear or to use pepper spray and mace and all that, or I gotta hit somebody with a flashlight, that's how you get killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And see, I've been locked up. I did time with dudes that we fought, actual fought. But on a respect factor, you know what I mean? Like, and rest in peace, my brother Rose. We was locked up. We did like 9 months together. There's a lot of brothers I did. That stint I did with Sawed Off, I did 9 months in the county on that Sawed Off case, right? So a lot of brothers that I put hands on, we fought. We was in the same circles. You know what I mean? A lot of the brothers they gone now too though, but another brother Grant, he's gone. He's from neighborhood.
They all be gone, man. When you live in that life, everybody be gone, man. Everybody. It don't be now. It be out of 100 people left, it be 1.5. And I'm telling you, it be that 1.5, and that half person is hanging on by half. Then it be that one person, man. Out of
by thread, for real.
For real, man. It be
like,
out of 100 people, I say it'd be one person. I don't care what nobody say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a couple people like, bro, you didn't have to do me like that, bro. Like real life. Like somebody tell me like, I was fucked up, bro. You didn't have to do me like that, bro. You was on one, bro. I only went as far as you took.
That's crazy that you was 200, because before you said that, I was thinking like, dang, his little self was going out knocking out boys. I believe you. I believe you now, but I'm just saying though. Before you told me you was 200, I'm like, dang, look, bro was out here. You know what I mean? I was like, dang, he was like 200. I'm like, dang, bro had some muscle to him, I guess. You know what I mean?
My last KO was. Should I say it? Should I say his name?
Don't say his name. It's
an NBA player.
Oh yeah, don't say his name. Ain't got time for him.
NBA
he probably get hard. He probably get his butt hard.
Yeah.
Tell me off camera. Anyway, I definitely want to know.
But anyway, his story after the fact was that he got jumped by security. Now it was just me, bro. And yeah, and his crew try to jump me.
What team he play for?
Like
what team he play for?
Memphis.
Okay.
It was Memphis. It started Memphis. Yeah. I don't know because I don't follow sports, so I don't know if he's still playing or if he's still there or what, But yeah, But come to the club, being disrespectful, want to be in there, you know what I mean? And then we try to look out for him like, hey, bro, come on, man. This is not a place for that, bro. People in here with cameras and everything. You see you smoking, like, you know what I mean? Like, we got a spot for that, bro. Come on to the back. You know what I mean? Like, we got, I'm trying to
look out. Yeah. You got knocked out.
Oh, come on, bro.
I got knocked out.
That'd be how it is, man. But no, man.
So, like that.
So with all these different experiences, man, you done been security. You done been, you grow now. You done did all these with your family. You been fed times with your family, gardening. You done husband. You done all this, man. How did you find time for yourself? Because that's what I've been having a hard time with,
Still looking for it.
Man.
Still searching.
I'm glad you're saying that because I cannot find time, and I'm not complaining. I'm saying this with a smile because I love my family, and I'm going to always do whatever I do for them. But I don't ever find time. Like, everybody be like Cuz be saying that, you got to find time to yourself. Everybody be saying that. I be like, man, look, man. I tell Cuz this all the time. It's almost impossible by the way that I live right now to have time to myself. So, man, I just been asking, man, who been living this lifestyle, how do you find, or at least find a little 5 minutes?
This is what I did. I realized I had to be intentional about it, right?
Yeah.
So in being intentional, after I lost my son, I wanted to find a time to where I could actually be quiet and study and observe.
Yes.
So I thought best like, well, what day of the week would I pick? What day of the week was I born on? That's how I went with it. Just being intentional. I looked up, I was born on a Thursday. So from now on, Thursdays, I'm going to reserve that day to be silent. I won't speak. You know what I'm saying? All I do is I'll observe, I'll read, I'll listen, I'll study. And to be intentional, that was what I was doing. To be intentional and actually say, on these days. Now, life be lifing, and I don't always get stick to it, but I try to be intentional and do that, even if I can get away for at least a couple of hours, because I think a lot of us, what we need that silence. Because we constantly emotional, we constantly talking, we constantly hearing, but we never really listen to ourselves. You know what I mean? We don't have that inner dialogue like we should. It's too loud. Everything's going on, so it's like it's too much stimuli all the time. So my idea is that I said what I always want to do was, and I always said, I'm going to go out here to Eagle Creek Park. I'm going to go out here and just walk off on the trail. It's like nothing ever happens the way I want it to or plan, but I make the intention of trying and attempting to do that. So even if it's just me at the crib, just not talking to nobody, turning everything off or zoning out. Love, she go stay, she with her mama for Thursday, so then I might go, like lately I ride my bicycle a lot, get a little exercise and just to kind of meditate. So I go ride and go down to, Newfields, because I found that to be a nice little spot, and I didn't realize the trails was what they were. So I go down there and kind of ground myself and meditate.
That sounds fun, just riding on a bike.
Man, bicycle ride, because as a child, that was my getaway.
Yeah.
I didn't have too much I could do, so it was either reading a book or ride my bicycle. And riding my bicycle was like having a car, because I can get around. I'm going everywhere I need to go. And to me, that brought my peace. That's why later on I became a biker. That's why I got into motorcycles, and that was my escape. That's my refuge, It don't matter what's going on or how shitty I am, what's going on in the world. I get on that bike. As soon as I twist the throttle, I'm
gone. I'm about to go buy me a bike.
I ain't got time to think about nothing else. I'm plugged in. I'm tapped in right here. You know what I mean? And to me, the bicycle is kind of like the same thing. I can go take a ride, think, it's quiet. I ride these trails, these nature trails, and have a nice time.
Good time.
That's beautiful. I think that with that being said, when you look at your question, because like when you find time, right? When you look at the life that you may be living, right? How everything's been unnatural, like you said in the beginning. There's all these things we have to do, and you said all these stimuli that we have to live. But you just look at the foundation, right? It may be unnatural. It may be. I'm not saying it is, it may be.
The way we live.
Because what he's saying is like we have to examine then intentionally examine what we got going on. That's what I'm hearing. That's how I'm interpreting it. We have to examine what are we doing unnaturally so we can't find that time. And like I know, and I got a gift to give. I got for your babies too. I got from Expo.
Appreciate it.
Finding that time. Just getting rid of the unnatural stuff. What may be unnatural. That's what I got from that. You're doing a hell of a job.
If it's not necessary.
Yeah, well, what is unnecessary in my life? That's what I'm hearing. I'm thinking in my life, I'm like, fuck, what the hell am I doing?
That's what I was thinking.
That's unnatural as fuck.
I can stop doing
It's not in alignment with where I desire to go. That's what I'm thinking in my head. So I appreciate you for saying all of that.
Indeed.
I'm processing that so I can get my peace back.
And I know we can go all day, man. I know we can go all day with this, man. But we probably need to end it right here, man.
That's real. That's real.
Cause man, this is dope. I think we definitely need to get you in for part 2. I think we definitely need to get you into part 2. Legit, get you into what you think, cuz we need to get a part 2.
Absolutely,
man.
definitely
dig more
part 2.
into this, cause man, this been dope, man. And before we leave though, man, we always ask, man, you've been giving us a lot of wisdom, man, and especially I be telling people all the time with my study our people before slavery, study what we was believing in, because you will realize what you was given is copies of what we made.
Go back to the source.
Yeah. So you will realize that we are the original source to every religion. But anyway, you've been given a lot of dope information, man. But can you drop some wisdom, closing wisdom for our viewers? Anything you want to talk about, closing wisdom for our viewers?
I just say, let's stay closest to the natural order. You know, we're in a culture the deaf culture that wants to control and manipulate and master nature versus work with it in harmony.
Great.
You know, we go against nature, we're always going to lose because it requires money. I mean, it requires energy for us to maintain whatever that construct is because it's unnatural. Just like I said about a dam. You can build a dam and you can divert a natural water, a body of water, but it requires inputs and maintenance for that well to keep up. And then when you don't maintain it, you have chaos, but things resume back to their natural order, right? If you're doing things in a natural order and the natural flow of things, it doesn't require that maintenance. It doesn't require the extra inputs. You know, what we do a lot is unnecessary. We have to get on the road to go drive 30 miles to go to the bobblehead factory. You know, the bobblehead factory even existing is a problem. Because as you say, everything that we have in here is derived from the planet. So what is the impact of that product? When we have these holidays every month and everybody wants to consume or buy things, look at chocolate or buy gifts like gold, where's the source of this? We're going to give somebody an iPhone. What's the source of these products? We understand that chocolate comes from Ghana. The children out here working who never even tasted chocolate a day in their life.
You got me, man.
We're consuming our
chocolate,
children.
Man, that's crazy.
We have these cell phones that we flex on one another with. iPhone, Android culture, right? That cobalt is derived from the soil where 6 million families are living in cobalt mines right now.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? But they only get that, and they're going and digging in these mines using their hands for this carcinogenic radiated material to make our phones. But for us, it's nothing. It's casual, you know what I mean? But it's the normal. It's the standard. You got to have this to be valid. You know what I'm saying? The gold and the diamonds, all that goes on because they control that. But we contribute to it out of an unnatural desire that's been given to us.
Man, damn.
They tell us that this was necessary to live in this state, but this state of being is an unnatural order. So if I wanted to create a business or an industry, if I know that industry is going to in any way take away from or be a negative impact on life itself, I can't do it. So I can't go over here and mine this uranium if I know that the downfall is going to be these people going to be sick, this water is going to be impure. I can't go and mine this bauxite in Jamaica if I know it's going to kill all the vegetation and give these people cancer, lung cancer, and respiratory disease and cover everything in this red clay if I go and start this industry, this business. You know what I mean? So we're at a point now where we have business, we take business, it takes precedence over life. We're putting money over life.
Over everything. MOE.
And that's the problem. That's the culture. We have to come back to culture. At the root of our problem is the culture. If we don't fix and address the culture, if we don't even know what our culture is, we claim these things that they've given us that is rewarded or valued, the sexy reds, the glow reels, the young money bag yos and all that, because that is what's valued in the culture, but at the root of it is death, you know what I mean? Then we got to know that's not us. That's a disconnect. We got to move away from that. Let's find something else. Let's tell our nephew, yeah, that sounds dope, what you're doing, but what you're talking about is not what we need. I need to see that people in our community, when we hear of the death, destruction, drugs, and everything, exploitation of our own women, that shit should be like child porn to us. If you talking that way, if this is your message, what you talking about, I don't want to hear or see none of that shit. You're a weirdo.
Real talk.
That can't be around us. We don't want you around us like that. You know what I mean? We got to develop a code. We got to become stewards of the culture. We not. We whores for the culture, and that's the problem.
Damn. That was goat. I was about to say that was goat. I'm trying to say dope, but my mom said that was goat. That was dope and goat. To leave it on that right there, man.
It ain't no better way to end it, man.
That's powerful.
And thank
Respect.
you. And thank both of y'all.
Respect.
For real. Make sure we get a picture.
We definitely would love to do a part 2 of this. We need to hear more of this. You know, our family needs more of this, and the people tuning in on YouTube needs more of this as well. So when we look at everything we talked about, y'all, Drop some takeaways in the comments.
Real talk.
Let us know what y'all took away from this.
This one of the most knowledgeable.
Say our
Absolutely.
website.
This one. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
man.
please,
Hold on.
please.
Before we go out, real quick, just give out all where they can get your website, where
where
they can
can we
follow
find
you
Okay.
on, where they can follow you on all your social platforms. And definitely give a shout out to your website because I was on it.
All right.
I was definitely on it.
You can find me on Facebook, Stebo Ma'at. That's MA''AT. Also, as you can find our company, which is Ma'at Urban Agriculture and Industries. Our ministry is Ma'at 9 Incorporated. That website is www.ma'at9.org. We're also, my love and I, you can find us as the Harville Homestead Couple. That's also one of our pages. And also my love, Kristen, what's your? Kristen, pretty cousin. Pretty cousin Duckett on Facebook. We got an Instagram and all that too. Y'all, right now, and we didn't really get into the workshop, but our regenerative urban farming is a movement. This is our workshop. It's a class. We actually have an online course. We're actually looking to shop this with Tuskegee because we're continuing the legacy of Dr. George Washington Carver.
Yep.
So that's the biggest part of what we're doing right now, regenerative urban farming, reclaiming and defining what regenerative urban farming is. And that is our movement, to grow more food in less space, using less resources, and to have a decentralized food production where our community harnesses the power of collective economics. But check us out for www.ma'at9.org and our website pages as well. Respect and bless.
Hey, man, family, we appreciate y'all for tuning in.
You
to
know
another
it.
episode of
This
the
is
Lead
one of
Your
the most
Lineage
knowledgeable
podcast.
podcasts, cuz.
Hey,
it was a lot of gems that was getting
1,000,000%.
dropped, man. I hope y'all pick
For
them
sure.
up, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Leave your comments below. Let us know what you took away from it. And family, we'll see y'all next time. Lead yourself so you can lead your lineage.
You know it.
Peace.
Hey, man. Tipping ain't easy.